us.
Hi, thank you. Thank you guys for having me on.
All right, our pleasure. Let's get right to the questions. We got a bunch of questions. So let's start with Doug Stalin. Go ahead, Doug.
Hello, Dylan. I'm curious if you think you're more comfortable or stronger creating offense with the puck or without the puck and finding open space, making yourself available for a pass.
I think both. I think being a guy who kind of creates offense, and that's really my strength in my game. I think it's important to be able to do both. And I think if I'm getting a shot off or I'm shooting, I think being able to find open ice is really a huge part of that. And kind of just timing, when the pass is going to come and when your teammates, when you're going to be in a good spot to get available. And I think when I have the puck on my stick, I'm obviously a threat to shoot and score still, but you can also make plays from that, which is also a big part of my game, I think.
Thanks, Doug. Next question comes from Russ Cohen. Go ahead, Russ.
Hey, Dylan. Just wanted to ask you about your hockey IQ, and it seems to be on a really high level, and how that helps you with your scoring.
Yeah, I think hockey IQ and scoring really go hand in hand. Is that I'm just able. I feel like I'm able to time the plays and kind of read them ahead of a time, so I know kind of the position that I need to be in to be able to get my shot off and to be in a scoring area. And I think kind of just being able to read what's going to happen and know that your teammates are going to do their job really help with that.
Thanks, Russ. Next question comes from Chris Faber. Go ahead, Chris.
Dylan, you played in the WHL, spent a lot of time in Western Canada. I'm wondering if you've had any conversations with the Canucks, and what would it be like to stay in Western Canada and play?
Yeah, I have been in conversation with the Canucks, and I think that would be awesome. I think they're I've obviously been to Vancouver a ton just throughout minor hockey and spring tournaments, and it's a beautiful city, and it would definitely be somewhere where I would love to play. And we had good conversation together, so it's exciting leading up, just kind of seeing where you think you're going to go.
Thank you, Chris. Next question comes from Mark Scheig. Go ahead, Mark.
Of others in Canada. Just wondering, did you like the way that the protocols were handled? Did you feel safe, and does that bode well for junior hockey this coming season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the protocols were strict, but they were put in place and they were strict for a reason, and that was to protect us and protect our families, billet families, and protect everyone in the room. And although they were strict at times, and sometimes maybe you didn't want to, always be wearing that mask all day. I think that it's important that those were put in place. And, at the end of the day, we were really willing to do whatever it took to be able to play hockey. And if we had to do that, we were more than ready, more than, happy to do that.
Thank you, Mark. Next question comes from Lance Lasowski. Go ahead, Lance.
Hi, Dylan. How concerned were you at all how the delay of the season, the lack of games you were able to play, how that would impact, just your standing, going into this draft in the eyes of scouts? And how were you able to really continue your development during this very odd year?
Yeah, it's tough. I was sitting at home for a long period of time where, other countries and other players were able to play and kind of, continue to get better through a normal season. And I was unable to do that, and I had to find ways to continue to get better and work on my game that, even sometimes weren't on the ice. The rinks closed in, probably November, December, right before the WHL season started. And, those were definitely tough times, and I had to continue to just kind of push and find ways to do stuff off the ice that would translate to on ice play. And, I think I did a good job of that. And then, during the season, I think just taking advantage of every game you play and, taking advantage of that opportunity. Obviously the OHL didn't even get to play this year, so we were more than grateful to be playing in the Western Hockey League, and then just taking advantage of those games and, kind of just producing every night.
Thanks, Lance. Next question comes from Mike Moriali. Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks, John. Hey, Dylan. Dylan, I'm curious your favorite current former NHL player to watch, and maybe what assets he possesses that, you try to incorporate into your game.
Yeah, I love watching, a ton of players. I think my favorite player growing up was Sidney Crosby. And, just I love watching the Pittsburgh Penguins. I was a huge Penguins fan. And, they're a really good team and found themselves, in the cup finals against Detroit quite often. And then, winning some cups a bit later on, too. So I think they were always a team that I love to watch. And, I love just Crosby's compete level and, his hockey IQ. I think that, although he does think the game super fast and, he has a ton of good skills, I think his compete level, is really outstanding. And I think that, that's really a good thing that young kids can look at is just how hard a guy like that works. And I think now I definitely watch a lot of different players. I think guys like Matthews and Pasternak, when I'm looking at their shooting tendencies and kind of what they do, and then I like to implement that into my shot, after practice or kind of on my own time. And then positionally, I think Kyle Connor, I watch him a lot too. I think, we have a similar frame and he plays with a lot of speed and is able to, open up a lot of time and space for his teammates to create offense when he's on the ice, just with his evasiveness and his deception with skating. So I think he's a fun guy to watch too.
Thanks, Mike. Next question comes from Brian Hedger. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, Dylan. Quick two-parter here for you. One, have you talked to the Blue Jackets yet among your teams that you've talked to? And two, I noticed 2 years ago or 3 years ago, 2 years ago, you broke into the WHL with about 8 games with Edmonton. Was there overlap there with Trey Fix-Wolansky? Did you get to know him at all, and have you seen him play?
Yeah, no, I've been in contact with the Blue Jackets, and we've met a couple of times, and we've had good conversation there. So I think, I would love to play there. And then, I think playing with Trey, he was really the leader on that team when I came in, and he obviously did outstanding things on the ice and in practice. And just watching him, you can really learn anything. I think he's so good with the puck and good with his speed, and his shot's so hard and accurate. And he works hard every single day too. So that's someone who I definitely look up to when I came into the league, and had a little bit of conversation with him. I mean, he grew up in Edmonton too. He played for White Midwest and CAC growing up, and that's the same organization that I played for too. So I think that we have a lot in common there.
Thanks, Brian. We have time for a couple more with Dylan. Let's go to Andy Ide. Go ahead, Andy.
Hi, Dylan. Obviously, making the NHL is the #1 goal. If you have to get sent back this year to Edmonton, is it a little less disappointing knowing that you're going back to a team that is set to do something pretty special?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, there's still stuff left on the table from the past 2 seasons. And, we've had 2 really good teams the past 2 years, and it's been unfortunate that we weren't able to compete in the playoffs. But I know that, we should have that opportunity next year, and that our team will be good going into next season. And, I think that's exciting. And I've just, our team's grown so much over the past 2 years. And, as the team gets better, so does the individual too. So I've been able to grow and learn from just so many good players who, have came in, and so many good people and leaders. So, I think playing for the Oil Kings, I've learned a ton. I've got a lot better as a player and a person. And, I'm excited to see what we can do next year.
Thanks, Andy. And our final question comes from Bailey Johnson. Go ahead, Bailey.
Dylan, how important do you think it was to have that experience at U18s given the shortened season that y'all had?
Yeah, I think it was good. It's obviously an honor to play for Team Canada whenever you get the chance. And, growing up as a kid, you kind of watch these tournaments, and, one day you say, I want to be a part of these. And to go there was awesome and an unreal experience. Then to win was really, everything, I've ever wanted. So I think that was great. And you get to, meet a lot of new people and, meet a lot of new friends who you hope to play with, later on. And, that was a great experience. And I think especially for the, Ontario guys, just because they didn't play this year. And, we were all excited to just get out there and play for Team Canada, but they were playing their first game and, over a year. And that's just crazy to think, if you were to look back 3 years, you definitely wouldn't think you'd be in this spot. So I think that's just crazy. And, it was a super fun experience all in all.
Thank you, Bailey. Well, Dylan, thanks so much for taking the time tonight. Congratulations on how far you've gotten, and good luck in the draft.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.